At some point in midlife, the pretending gets exhausting. In this episode, we're going to talk about admitting to yourself what you actually want. It's going to be a good one. Grab your coffee. We know Mike did. And let's get into it.
Right here. Got it, baby. This time I'm prepared.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Candidly with Coffee, you guys. And thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Hit that subscribe button if you like the show and you like my channel. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. We would really appreciate it. Now let's get into it. Yeah, I thought this was just kind of interesting because in my job, when I coach women, they come to me for help. I feel a lot of them feel inclined to tell me they want help because they want to get healthy. And they, I just want to be healthy, have better energy. They give me these really generic answers.
Generic.
But when I dig deep into what is it that you really want, I sometimes can get it out of them. And what I've realized over these years is that it's not that they don't want more. It's that they're afraid to admit what they really want.
Right? Mm-hmm. They're holding back. Mm-hmm. Why? Like men, for the most part, I know what men want. Men want to be jacked. They want to be shredded, peeled, ripped,
But are they willing, or do they have too much ego to come out and say, like, I want to be shredded, I want a six-pack, or men are more likely to say that?
That's a good question. I know what they're feeling. I know what they want. But yeah, I think some men are prideful to admit that they really want that. Mm-hmm. They feel they can't achieve that.
Yeah, because
they put blocks up too.
It's a protection.
It is.
I think it goes as far as like with women, and a lot of women I talk to, they will go as far as saying, no, I would never want that. Like they literally will say like, oh, no, I would never want to wear a bikini again. I would never want to wear a crop top. They'll say that like they'll be almost like they have an aversion to that.
Yeah.
But when you dig deeper and you work with these people over time, it really comes from a place of just not believing that it's even in the realm of possibility. And that is why they don't admit to wanting it. It's not because they don't want it. And whatever it may be, I'm not saying specifically aesthetics, anything in life that deep down you might really want, but you spend a lot of time just convincing yourself that you don't want these things out of a protection mechanism.
True. That's so true. It's like, go for it. You only live once. Why not go for it? That's what you really want.
Yeah.
You wanted it as a teenager. You wanted it as a young woman. Why now all of a sudden you hit your 40s and now you don't want that no more? But you wanted it back then. Mm-hmm. You wanted to go to the nightclub, the bars. You want to look hot. You want to look sexy. You wanted to feel that. Mm-hmm. Why? Because you're older now. You shouldn't feel that way. Like, why not? I feel like they're lying to themselves.
It's more of a protection mechanism than anything.
Yeah, for sure. Because, the male ego is tough. These dudes really think like they're happy with their big old belly, their beer in their hand, man boobs. They're not. They're lying to themselves because I see it all the time. I see their energy. They won't even look me in the eye when I'm walking by them. They look down. You're wearing a T-shirt to the pool. Really, bro? That's what we're doing now? Mm-hmm. T-shirt to the pool? Mm-hmm. You're that embarrassed? Come on. That's not what you want. Men, we have big egos and pride. We want to be desired. We want people to look at us like, damn, he's put together. Mm-hmm. You want guys to come to you like, damn, bro, what are you doing? You're looking good, And it's not so funny. It's just like complimenting a man. Mm-hmm. Like, wow, you put in the work. You could tell. You could see another dude like, good shit, man. You're putting it down. Mm-hmm. I know what it takes for you to look like that. I know exactly what you got to do. You got to eat good, train hard, watch your calories. I know what you're doing. So I respect that.
Yeah, I think that for women, I don't even think they're lying. They're not even like lying to themselves because they're so deep in that protection that they truly have convinced themselves that they don't want it. It's like this hard shell.
Yeah, true.
They really have convinced themselves that they don't want it. But the truth is they do. but they do not believe it's possible, right? So how do you even begin? And this is what I struggle with, because I feel like a lot more women, I mean, I would probably get a lot more clients if they just allowed themselves to believe, because it's 100% possible. But you have to kind of believe that you can do it. I can help you because I can tell you what's possible for you, but you really have to kind of like let go. So many people, one of the most common things, I have onboarding calls with new clients, and I will ask them what their like goal weight is, and say they're like 200 pounds. They'll tell me 180.
Or 175.
That's not
I see
true.
that number a lot.
That is not true. That's not really your goal weight. There's a block. You created a block because you think you haven't even seen 175, so you know that's probably not possible. Anything lower than that is definitely not possible. You created this like boundary, this invisible fake boundary, because out of protection for your, from failing, or I don't know what, maybe, but you feel so disconnected from what you really want, you can't even say it. I can't even get people to say it sometimes. And I'll say like, oh, so you wouldn't want to be, so in the course of working with me, you wouldn't want me to take you to 150? They get like, oh, well, I mean, it's just, I just can't. It's just not possible. I mean, you don't understand. And they'll just go in like a circle, like trying to convince me it's not possible. I'm like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand.
Yeah, you don't understand, sweetheart.
Like, you don't understand.
Yeah, I understand.
Because you can 100% absolutely be 150, 140, 130, 120, whatever it is that you want. So what are you stuck on 175 for? Is that what you really want?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like it's like a freaking ice pick picking through the ice. They're like these sculptures, and I'm trying to pick through the ice. Like, we got to get in deeper, because that's not what you want. Because we need to get in all the way to the core, and because you need to accept what it is that you really want. And I can't tell you what that is, but I know it's not 175.
When women say that weight, 170, 180, 175, whatever, I'm like, that's my weight, man. Why do you want to be my weight? I'm a man.
Yeah.
A muscular man at that.
Right.
175, I'm super pure. 180,
Right.
I'm pretty lean. I'm
Right.
almost 10% body.
Yeah.
What the hell? 180? How tall are you? I'm 5'8". A man with a lot of muscle since I've been working out since a kid. You want to be my weight?
Yeah.
Chances are, okay, you're my height. Why the hell would you want to be my weight?
It's because it's belief. They don't believe it. And so they have these like barricades, and I see it a lot. It's probably the thing I encounter the most with clients. And you got to understand, by the time they get to me and they've hired me, those are the ones that they have some belief, because they wouldn't have hired me.
Yeah.
But we still have to do work.
Yeah.
But think about all the people out there that could be doing something pretty cool, or be open to maybe hiring a coach to help them get to where they really want, but they don't, because they're not even at the step where they're willing to admit what they really want. Do you know what I mean?
That's so true.
Right?
Just got to admit it, and you got to like let go of the reins. You got to let it go, but like, you know what? She's right. Like, you said something really good, so that stuck with me. You're like, we give weight loss and fat loss too much power.
Too much power.
Like, wait a minute, are you going to the moon or something? Like, what are
Yeah.
you doing? You're not doing the impossible.
Yeah. It's
Just
just
like
body fat.
Just like you put it on, you could take it off.
Yeah.
Who told you? I want to know, who's the person that told you can't take it off? I want to meet that person. I want to see what they look like, first off, if you're getting advice from them. Because if they look like absolute shit, then I wouldn't be listening to that person. That's not the person. I would be listening to a person that look like you. If I'm a woman, I'm like, I want her body. I want to look like this one
Yeah.
right there. 50 years old, in a two-piece bikini, that lean. That's who I want to listen to.
Yeah.
Not these other people on TikTok or social media listen to.
And I'm not even
Don't do it.
saying like for the most part, you don't know what the weight is going to be.
You don't.
A lot of times I'll tell my client, go find something that you want. Find what you're looking for. Find the aesthetic that you like.
Yep.
And like, let's go from there, because you don't know what the number is going to be yet. A lot of times that's way out of the realm. It's very hard for them to wrap their head around a number, and that can be scary. But if at least they can get a visual, like get a visual. That's what helped me. That's what broke me out of my fat suit.
Yeah.
I had a visual, and
That's
my
actually
visual
better.
was Linda Hamilton in Terminator. That's what I wanted. I wanted Linda Hamilton in Terminator. I liked that look. I liked that physique. A lean, slender, but fit, strong, not skinny, not like frail. And it helped me to have a visual. I didn't know what that meant for me or if I could even ever get there, but I allowed myself to like think about like, yeah, that'd be cool if I could. I at least gave myself like, if I could someday.
Yeah.
And I remember I couldn't figure out how to get fit because didn't have the protein figured out or the working out, but I got lean and then I went blonde. I was very thin. I still wasn't quite there, but it took me years to figure it out because I didn't have the resources. But then I'm in this quest to learn to be inside of that woman's mind to help them understand what is possible. And I'm trying to convey that even in my content so that people can think like, why not me? I actually even just did a video. I just posted a video of on my Instagram, and it said like when it really changed for me is I started thinking I'm not the exception. Like I can get that. I'm not the exception. Like if they can have it, they can have it, they can have it. I can have it too. It's just because I'm far away from it doesn't mean I can't have it. And it doesn't apply just to body and aesthetics. It applies to anything, a job, a lifestyle, a car. I want to talk to the woman who feels like her metabolism has completely changed after 40. If you feel like you are eating less, moving more, and the scale still will not budge, you are not crazy and you are not broken. Your body has changed. Your hormones have shifted and you need a different strategy. This is not a crash diet. It is not cutting carbs. It is not starving yourself. Inside this challenge, I teach you how to increase protein correctly, strength train strategically, stabilize calories instead of slashing them, reset your metabolism so fat loss actually works again. If you are tired of guessing and ready for a structured plan built specifically for women in midlife, this is for you. Let's get your body responding again.
That's funny you say that because what went through my head right now, we idolize a lot of celebrities. They get the body. They have the fame. They have it all. You see them on TV, and you're like, I want to get that, but I can't because I'm not like them. Mm-hmm. You know that they're human, right? They breathe the same air. They bleed red. We're the same thing. We're the same pretty much cell makeup.
You're not the exception.
They're not special genetics. They just had a trainer, coach probably, that taught them how to work out. Somebody taught them how to track macros or is dialing in their food because they're rich enough to somebody. They just have it figured out. Like Linda Hamilton, whatever she did back then, she had it figured out.
But usually I want you to understand this too. You don't figure it all out overnight.
No.
It's like one layer at a time. One thing at a time, and then it gets you closer. And then you're like, okay. Because that's what I did.
Yeah.
Like one layer at a time, I evolved into what I always would have dreamt to be.
You got skinny, okay? And I met you shortly after that.
Yeah. You didn't meet me shortly after I got skinny. I spent 20 years skinny.
I met you.
15 years skinny before I met you.
Well, I met you skinny.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Right.
You didn't have a lot of muscle.
No, I know. I was skinny. I lost weight and I was skinny for many years, even when I met you.
You were thin build.
Yes.
And then one day you decided, you know what? I want to build some muscle. I did a little bit with you, but I want to like take it to the next level. So I hooked you up with a trainer, which our friend Matt Allen to this day. And he somehow convinced you to want to compete. And you're probably like, I could compete? You have some doubt. He's like, yeah, just follow what I tell you. You can compete. And he transformed you, showed you what was possible. Like, whoa, holy moly, I hit a level I never thought possible. You had a different body.
But I will say, by then, I hadn't figured out how to do it on my own, obviously. But when he told me that I could, I believed it. I did have belief at that time. And I think that's what helped me just kind of like take that aggressive action and go for it. I immediately believed it because I knew he was the missing piece to plug in the knowledge I quite didn't have and I couldn't figure it out. You have to sometimes be open to the fact that you think you know what to do, but someone probably knows better. They could get you there faster.
True.
Because look, I spun my wheels for 15 years trying to be fit from being skinny, but not until I invested in myself, in you, and then in Matt, did I finally figure it out.
Yeah.
And if I would have done that investment sooner, then I would have figured it out sooner. If I would have hired a personal trainer who was in the bodybuilding world, because that's the physique I wanted, so I would go, okay, I want a fitness physique, so I'm going to hire a fitness professional that's going to get me there. I would have been there much quicker. It's like that's the beauty of a coach, not to toot my own horn, but it's the process
True.
of, do you want to get there faster and without a bunch of trial and error? Then you hire a coach that you trust and you're connect with and you're knowledgeable with, because they can get you there faster.
And here's the kicker is you could do it on your own. You might figure it out. But what happens when you hit that fork in the road and you're stuck? Then that's where you stay. You're stuck. You're absolutely just right there. You don't know where to go. You don't know how to break that plateau or get out of it or get to the next level. That's why it's important. Like you said, invest in yourself. You hired a coach.
Yeah, it was what made the difference.
Huge difference.
If I look at my life,
Huge.
If I look at my life, every single time I've taken my life to the next level, it took belief, decision of what it is that I wanted to get to, the level that I wanted to get. Then I had to seek someone to help me get there. Period. Every time, whether it was business, career, aesthetic, body, whatever it may be, I had to invest in a coach, a mentor, or something. And every single time I've done that in my life, my one thing that I say is, damn, why didn't I do it sooner?
Yeah.
Why didn't I do it sooner? Why am I so stubborn? Why do I try to figure out everything on my own? I think I've got it all figured out, but yet it's like when someone tells me, I have this conversation a lot with people, they'll say, look, I know what to do. And my answer is, well, if you know what to do, why haven't you done it?
There you go. That right there is like, when I hear people say that, I know what to do. I know how to work out. I know how to eat good. I know how to eat healthy, clean. I'm like, then why do you look like that? Why are you still overweight if you know what to do? Define your eating healthy. What's healthy? Define eating clean. Because what I'm looking at, the physique I'm looking at, that doesn't look like a physique that you're eating clean or healthy. So what does that tell me? You don't know what you're doing.
You don't know how to apply what you know then, or what you know is not right when you apply it. It could be one or the other. But, that's what I hear a lot.
Yeah.
Because I hear people know. And I'm sure because there's lots of resources on the internet that I didn't have when I was trying to lose weight and get fit. However, even that's not enough.
No.
And people are still very misinformed in what's possible. But I still feel like it's not the actions that's the biggest barrier to entry into what you really want. It's the belief. And in order to allow yourself to believe that you can, you have to accept being vulnerable, because you have to admit what you really want. And that's scary when you admit what you really want, because then you feel like, oh, well, now that I've admitted what I really want, now I really want it. And now I'm going to be that much more upset if I can't have it or I don't get it. But here's the thing. If you admit what you want and then you believe that you can get there, you can have it. Period. You can. Because you're the only thing getting in your way.
That's it. Nobody else, nothing else, just
Nobody
you.
else. And everybody, and yes, everybody has a different path to there. There's a different path. A roadmap is different. You might have different health conditions, ailments, setbacks. It doesn't matter. To be honest, the people that have the most adversity do the best.
Always.
So if you have some adversity in front of you, probably a good thing, because people who face adversity usually do pretty well because they have mental fortitude, they're fighters.
True.
So don't let that stop you. If you think you have a laundry list of health conditions, then you can't pursue what you really want. Because the truth is you absolutely can. And you're more likely to succeed, to be honest. Look at the people that talk about their big success stories. They came from the streets. It's usually some bottom of the barrel to the top.
They've been homeless. They've
Right.
been addicted to drugs.
Yes.
They've been in prison and somehow scaled to the top. Also, another thing I'm thinking about, there's sports involving like people who are like handicapped.
Yeah,
They're
Special
competing,
Olympics. Yeah.
they're competing in Olympics. There's bodybuilders in wheelchairs that are chiseled, ripped, men and women in wheelchairs. You know what I'm saying? So you
So that's not
you
it
could cry
either.
yourself a river and say, "Whoa, me, I got this." How about those people who can't walk?
Yeah.
So what is it then?
So it's not that. Again, it's using things to help solidify so that you don't have to make yourself vulnerable admitting what you really want. Because once you admit what you really want, then when you don't get it, it's harder. So a lot of people spend their whole lives like preparing for the worst always, preparing for the worst case scenario. They're living with the worst because they're so afraid to prepare for the best case scenario because the letdown is harder.
Yeah.
So they're so focused on the negative though. Focus on the positive. Instead of the worst case scenario, focus on the best case scenario.
You sound like Tony Robbins right now. That's what he says.
Does he?
He goes, people are always focused on the negative instead of focus on the positive.
Why are we
it's just a little shift of the mindset. And someone said like people think like investing in a coach or investing in yourself and getting a coach is like this big risk. Well, what's the bigger risk?
Not living to your fullest potential.
That's the bigger risk right there.
Yeah.
You're here one time, not living, shoulda, woulda, coulda, getting old, being like in hospice one day and telling your hospice nurse or caretaker, like, I have the deepest regret. Why didn't I do this when I was younger? Why didn't I do that? I could have done so much more about health. Because I forgot where I read it at, but there was this list of what the deepest regrets that people have when they're in hospice.
Yeah.
They could go back and they would do this and this and that. So while you're here listening to this, you could do it now. Before one day you're in that situation where like, man, I wish I would have done something.
It's like, what if it doesn't work out? No, what if it does work out?
And what if it does?
Why don't you focus on that? But we put so much energy. And you know what you put your energy into, that's what grows. That's what attracts, right? So if people are spending all their time in the worst case scenario, they're, like, that's what's life is gonna be focused on the negative instead of the positive. It's just a mindset shift. It's just focusing on the opposite of what you currently are.
Energy goes where energy flows.
It's so true.
That's what they say.
You know what I think sometimes?
It's crazy.
Because I'm such a visual person. I'll try to sometimes I'll sit here and before I was getting ready for the show, I was waiting for you to come over. I sat here and I thought, if I was sitting here right now as the person that never believed, that didn't go for it when I was 22, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to stay this way because it's easier and I'm happy this way, convince myself. And I'm picturing what I would be like sitting here. I would have sat in this chair, which probably would have been big enough for me. I would definitely probably been around 300 pounds if I would have let it keep going. And I'd be like adjusting my shirt to make sure it wasn't stuck in the rolls. And I'd be so sad. Do you know what I mean?
You'd be uncomfortable.
So uncomfortable
You'd be
sitting here and like,
moving.
is this camera angle, is this camera angle wrong? I'm going to pushing things down, making sure it doesn't get tucked in the rolls.
And you know what's funny? We'll talk about this. We'll stay on this. Is you always can call it out when you see someone uncomfortable. They're always,
because I've been there.
You can see women when they're sitting a certain way or posing a certain way, always adjusting their shirt or something.
I know.
You see it.
Because I used to do it. Because when you sit down and you're overweight and you feel your shirt like tuck in, it's uncomfortable, right? And then it's going to accentuate the roll. And then if it's a hot day or something like that and you stand up, that area will have like a wet mark. And so you think about it, like, or I would sit with my arms kind of out a little bit because you'd sweat more when you're heavy. I would sit with my arms always kind of out so that I wouldn't get sweat marks under my armpits.
I've been there too. Even I didn't get to 300, I got to like 250 plus. And I remember I'd have sweat under my boobs right here.
Yeah.
And
so
armpits.
I've been there. So it's like I don't do it to I don't look at them to judge. I look at there going, God, I remember that feeling. Like I know what they're feeling right now. And no matter what they tell me, no matter if they say like they're happy or whatever, they're not happy. They're not happy.
Lie on yourself. That's the truth.
Because why? Because the whole topic of this episode, they're afraid to admit what it is that they really want because they don't believe it's possible for them. They think they're the exception. I know she can do it and she did it and this person on social media did it, but nope, not for me. Doesn't work for me. Won't work for me because X, Y, Z, A, B, C.
You know why it doesn't work for you, ladies? Your strategy doesn't work for you. That's why. You're on the wrong strategy. You're trying to bake a cake. You got the recipe, but you don't know how to put the ingredients together correctly.
Yeah, it could be the strategy, but they don't even get to the strategy.
No, they don't.
They don't get to the strategy part because
But a lot of them have tried to lose weight. A lot of people try to lose weight and they fail over and over and over.
yeah.
Or if they don't see instant success or gratification, as you want to call it, they quit.
Yeah.
You don't see something change in a week, maybe two. You might last 2 weeks, and you don't see the scale going down 10 pounds. You quit. Like nobody told you it's going to be rapid. Weight loss is not rapid.
We always celebrate when our clients pass the 10-pound mark
Yep.
because I'm a firm believer anybody can lose 10 pounds. When you lose more than 10, you're really doing something.
You start going 20 and up.
You know,
now
like
you're breaking that
even
wall.
like after 10. When you 11 is usually people it's 10. They can lose 10, they gain it back. They lose 10, they
You're
gain
right.
it back. 11, 12 even, you're increasing your percentage of success significantly once you pass that 10-pound mark.
Yeah.
I remember this one client of mine that I have right now. It took a while to get her to pass that 10. She kept falling off because habits, because of history repeating itself, right? With a breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember telling her when she broke through, she lost 11 pounds. I'm like, okay, you did it. This is big. This is major. She's now down 32 pounds.
Boom. Booyah.
32 pounds. And, now she's out of the 20-pound. She got the 20-pound club. She got the Esco Elite Mindsets hoodie that we give out for that. And then now, she's on past the 30-pound club. Or what about that client, Kimberly, that I had last year?
Oh, yeah.
I had to reach out to her. I haven't talked to her in a while.
Yeah.
She came to me and said, I'm willing to take a leap of faith that this is going to work, but I'll be honest with you, nothing's ever worked for me. I'm like, famous last words. That's what all my clients say.
Famous.
Let's do this. Like, we got this. She was with me for a year. She lost 54 pounds in a year. She said, nothing has ever worked for me. Nothing has ever worked. I think I have a testimonial from her somewhere. I don't have pictures because she was very private, but she wrote a testimonial. And
So she basically lost about a pound a week, a little bit over.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And she was kind of a petite lady. And she said, I'd never been this light in my life. She got to 125 pounds.
Probably was like, she hasn't seen that price since her childhood or something crazy, right?
Yeah, she was, and it was easy for her. It just came easy to her because she had never tried like a flexible dieting. To her, it was either dieting, meaning tuna and hot potato and a boiled potato, that kind of food.
Oh.
Total diet food with
Yeah.
maybe like a Slim Fast shake. She came from that kind of diet.
Yeah.
And then I
Horrible.
told her that she could eat tacos and this and that. And she's like, what? Like, you're crazy. You're out of your mind. I was like, trust me.
Watch this.
And it just was very, some people are blessed and they get it. And then they're responders. Their body just responds.
Yeah.
She was one of those people that was like an anomaly, I will say, because she never stalled in a year. She never hit a stall.
That's rare.
She just went brrr, like
And
that.
that's rare.
Yeah. I have another client like that right now that she's been with me November, December, January, February. She's been with me 4 months. She has not been a zigzag. She's been, and it scares me sometimes when they're like that because I'm like, listen, this is not normal. You're going to stall. You're going to pop up at some point. It won't mean you're doing anything wrong. You're just an anomaly right now. It's because we're now into like 14 weeks and she just loses every single week. And she's eating more than she ever ate before.
Wow. Yeah, I got a guy right now. He's
And she listens to this podcast, right? By the way, she's in Hawaii. So hello, if you're listening, I'm talking about you. And yes, you're doing amazing.
what's the date? My guy hasn't been with me 2 months yet. In one more week or so, he'll be 2 months, and he's down 22 pounds.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And he was kind of a rough start a little bit at first.
Oh yeah, I had
Kinda a rough
to break. I had to
start.
break some bad habits and whatnot.
It's some mental barriers.
Mental barriers. That's
Mental
all it
barriers.
is, really. It's mental barriers that's holding you guys back. Has nothing to do with physicality. It's your mental barriers. That's why it's called Esco Elite Mindset.
That's what we were constantly, and we're so in the mix. We're so on top of it, talking to the clients that we're always kind of pulling them back in, getting them re-engaged. That's why we do the weekly Zoom calls. That's why I do the weekly check-ins, because they need that constant, like, nope, you got this. I'm watching you. Nope. We're not doing this. You're going to stay on the straight and narrow. This is where you're going. You have to remind them where they're headed, why they're doing it. It's constant because it can get boring and complacent, and over time you forget your why. And you know, but we're in there constantly reinstilling the belief
Every day.
because the belief fades, comes and goes.
It does.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.